Yeah. We are back. Let me clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. Yeah, my filet mignon. Gotta keep that intact. We almost there, y'all. We almost there. Almost there. A couple more days and fast. We there. So yeah, let's continue. Had to take a brief intermission. Get some stuff done real quick. So, all right, let's see where we at with it. Got so much to cover. Let's go ahead and get back to where we was at. Oh snap! We got the Pope.
Pope Francis, who is under treatment at a hospital in Rome. The 88-year-old pontiff suffered a breathing crisis during a coughing fit. The doctors placed him on non-invasive ventilation and are said to be closely monitoring his condition. The Vatican has said that the pontiff remains conscious, alert, and also is responding well to treatment. But his prognosis remains very guarded. Outside the Gemelli Hospital, where the Pope is undergoing treatment, the devotees have gathered to pray for his recovery. Their candles and chants have filled the night.
We want to pray for Pope because we know Pope now is sick. So only the prayer we hope Pope is healed. So all over the world we need Pope.
Now, healthcare workers from the Gemelli Hospital also made a pilgrimage to St. Peter's Basilica. Hundreds of hospital staff holding umbrellas walked down the road leading up to the Basilica.
I'm worried, I have to say this, because we don't know if Pope we are praying for him because we don't know if he could feel better someday. We hope so, and I think that we are praying for him too when we are going in San Pietro. So we're praying for ourselves, for people we love, but also for him.
The Associated Press reporter Tricia Thomas has sent us this report from Rome, Italy. Listen in.
The Vatican says that Pope Francis slept through the night without any crisis. He got up this morning and he drank a coffee. This is according to Vatican officials after what was a frightening incident yesterday when he had a coughing fit that caused him to vomit, and he inhaled some of the vomit into his lungs.
Really?
That necessitated a bronchoaspiration, which is sort of a suctioning of his lungs that doctors had to do. They say they need 24 to 48 hours just to see what the result is of this incident. The Pope apparently was collaborative and lucid throughout, but it remains a very complex situation as the Pope continues to struggle with this pneumonia in both of his lungs. Cardinals continue to have rosary prayers for him in St. Peter's Square every night, and the faithful continue to come here to the Gemelli Hospital, where the Pope is staying on the 10th floor, to leave messages and candles and to pray for him at the base of the statue of John Paul II. Today it's raining, so there are not a lot of people coming, but there's been a regular flow for the past 2 weeks that the Pope has been here.
Well. What's going on in Popeville? What's going on in the Valley? What's going on in the Valley with Big Daddy? Something going on with the Valley and Big Daddy? What's going on with the Daddy and Big Daddy and Daddy and the Big Daddy? Yep. There's a lot going on, beloveds. There have been many people who have checked out and are no more. So it's starting to ramp up now. But yeah, we're going to keep it going. So just as much as is up there in the Vatican, you still got a bunch of stuff going on in Italy, Greece, Spain, France. It's going down. It's not over. We're just getting this party started. Let's go.
Yes!
So this is Spain.
Yes! ¡Hostia! ¿De quién es el coche ese? ¿Está una mujer? ¿Quién está ahí?
Swift by sea.
¡Joana!
This is Spain, yo. card.
Papá, papá, que se baje el coche.
Yo.
Calle.
Wow.
¡Ay, el coche!
Water is not playing around. Look at
¡Ay,
this.
el coche! ¡Ay,
Oh.
el coche!
Going down there.
Se nos fue.
They were going reverse.
Eres un puto coche.
¿Va a haber alguien dentro?
¿Cómo hay alguien dentro?
Tiene los indicadores puestos. Si
Oye,
parece-
oye, a lo mejor.
¿Qué coño? Si tiene los indicadores puestos.
Better not
Hay
be.
un coche ahí, brother.
I'm out of
¿Crees
here.
que el tío está dentro o no?
Señores,
It swept that car
no hay
all the
alguien
way
dentro, me rayo. No, no hay nadie dentro.
a long way.
final lo va a echar para el barro.
This is Spain, y'all.
Hay que estar,
Going on in Spain.
hay que estar loco perdido. Ya son los coches, dejan de sacarle a mi vecino, pero
It's their car. Look, you
lo
know,
va por saco, tío.
he's
La
gone.
apoya.
Still got to pay that car note, huh?
No me dio
Gone.
tiempo ni de coña, tío.
Still got to pay that mortgage, huh?
De loco, tío.
Okay. Like motorway, mud, complete.
Esto en el Caracó. Se están llevando los coches, el río, el barranco. Está la carretera cortada, no creo que den bajar por.
Mira, ya se lo llevó, ya se lo llevó, mira. Ya se lo llevó.
Cars swept into the sea in Gran Canaria by heavy rains. The heavy rain alert declared by the Canary Islands government for Gran Canaria has already led to incidents in the municipality of Teld, one of the areas hardest hit by the storm. In Playa Salanganas Beach, the intense rainfall has caused flooding today, which swept away a parked car into the sea.
Sí hay alguien
¿En
dentro,
serio,
tú.
tú?
Yeah, like somebody car at the
¿Y
bottom.
por qué no sale?
This ain't no tropical.
Mira, creo que hay alguien dentro.
Ain't nobody coming to vacation here.
The deluge overwhelmed the area with water levels rising rapidly due to the overflow caused by the torrential rain. Emergency services are on high alert as the situation develops, and authorities have advised residents to avoid unnecessary travel and remain cautious, especially in flood-prone areas.
They just went through this.
Estartán de chocolate con churro.
They just went through this. It's again and again and again and again and again and again.
The Canary Islands government continues to monitor the weather conditions closely, with further updates expected as emergency teams respond to the impacts of the storm.
Warhead. Come on. All the tattoos, versus and twice, all the tattoos.
A ver cómo salgo yo de aquí, mi niña.
The torrential rain brought by the weather pre-alert issued by the Canary Islands government is already causing incidents, with at least 80 people trapped in a supermarket in Guillemar, Tenerife. According to reports by Radio Television Canaria, many of those affected are waiting to move their vehicles from the supermarket underground car park to the main access road to the Guillemar Industrial Estate. The heavy rainfall has led to flooding on roads in the area, and the emergency services, including the fire brigade, are on site working to pump water out of the car park and move a lorry that is stuck. Authorities urge residents to exercise caution and avoid unnecessary travel until the weather situation improves. Further updates will be provided as emergency teams continue their efforts to ensure safety in the affected areas. The government of the Canary Islands, through the General Directorate of Emergencies, updated the situation and declared a rain warning in Gran Canaria from 2:15 p.m. on Monday, March 3, while the pre-warning situation remains in force throughout the islands.
Had a flood.
No, los coches.
They didn't even have enough time to clean up
No.
that fast.
¿Qué dice? Tío.
According to the regional government, this decision has been taking into account the information provided by the state meteorological agency and other available sources, and in the application of the special emergency plan for the Canary Islands, due to the risk of adverse meteorological phenomena.
Wow. All of it.
This situation will mainly affect the municipalities of Arucas, Terror, Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, Santa Brigida, Valsequillo, and Tel. There are heavy and very heavy rains locally, even accompanied by storms, which are expected to subside around 6 o'clock p.m., 7 o'clock p.m. on Monday.
All the trash, all the dirty baby diapers, you know, not boogers, papers, and then you got all these countries up for protesting.
Regarding the evolution of the storm, according to the technical director of the emergency service of the Cabildo of Gran Canaria, Luis Fernando Arancibia, an accumulation of 35 millimeters of rain has been recorded, especially in the northeast of the island, in the municipalities of Arucas, Teld, and Moya.
Está trabajando en la zona. Fíjense cómo el litoral ya tiene ese color marrón del agua que recibe de las escorrentías y los barrancos.
The worst impacts were in the Teld Ravine, with several vehicles swept away, but no injuries were reported. Traffic congestion has occurred in GC1, and landslide warnings have been recorded in GC 300 near Tanoya and in GC 43 between Los Castillos and Arucas.
Like, there's no more business. There's nothing. All the way up.
As for the other islands, the weather forecast indicates the possibility of locally heavy rain, while on the highest peaks of La Palma and Tenerife, snowfall could occur.
Everybody got a
A variable environment is expected with precipitation, almost all in the form of rain, as well as light to moderate rain with the possibility of local heavy rain in the central hours of the day, although some very heavy and occasional rains cannot be ruled out on the islands with higher relief.
How you gonna make that? How you gonna make that great again? Hill, nothing. Hill. Launching that. Look at that. Oh, he took the headache. Hard damage. How big that is. Hard damage. Kind of turn that a little. Yeah.
另外，这么大的冰雹上捡回来了，溜很久了，有的冰有的融化掉了。
Look at that. They look like creatures.
太吓人了！太大了，这着蛇了！
拔掉头啊！
砸死人了！ 冰雹了，看，全部下冰雹。真的是。
Everybody walking into the Let me find out. 1 second, y'all. I need to find out. How fast? What is the speed? Okay. What is the speed when hail falls down in China? Let's just do that. Wow. In China, hail can fall at speeds varying with size, with smaller hailstones typically falling between 9 to 25 miles an hour, while larger hailstones, like those seen in severe thunderstorms, can reach speeds of 44 to 72 miles an hour, y'all. 72 miles an hour. You're getting hit. You're getting hit by a little baby car in the head. That's what it is right now. You're getting hit at 72 miles an hour. They all work together. That's where my mind.
According to the Central Meteorological Observatory, from March 3 to 4, severe convective weather will occur in Jiangxi and Fujian provinces. Some areas will experience thunderstorms or hail above level 8, and local wind speeds may reach level 10. Some areas will experience short-term heavy rain, and local hourly rainfall may reach 50 millimeters.
Rain, snow,
The severe convective weather will affect parts of the Beijing-Hong Kong, Shanghai-Kunming, Hangzhou-Changsha, Hefei-Fuzhou high-speed railways, as well as the Beijing-Kowloon, Wuhan-Jiujing, Shanghai-Kunming, Quizhou-Ningbo, and Gamzhou-Longqing high-speed railways in Jiangxi and Fujian provinces. In order to ensure the safety of railway transportation in severe weather, China Railway Nanchang Bureau Group Co., LIT, hereinafter referred to as NAN Railway, issued a blue alert for cold waves and severe convection in its jurisdiction.
They can't even get on the, they can't even get nowhere. So the hail is knocking the railroad back.
In order to prevent the adverse impact of severe convective weather on railway transportation safety, various units of the Southern Railway have strengthened contact with local departments such as flood control, meteorology, water conservation, and natural resources to continuously monitor rainfall conditions and river and reservoir conditions, and rely on satellite cloud maps, radar monitoring, and wind speed sensors along the line to dynamically analyze and assess the wind, rainfall, and disaster situations, and issue early warnings for severe convective weather and potential disaster areas. At the same time, emergency rescue personnel, flood control equipment, and materials are on standby along the warning area to enable rapid response to emergencies. Considering that extreme convective weather can easily cause rocks to fall, trees to fall, landslides, and other disturbances along the railway, as well as the emergence of caves on the roadbed, which endanger driving safety, the Southern Railway has organized personnel to strengthen inspection and reinforcement of dangerous trees, cables, temporary facilities, colored steel tiles, billboards installed on both sides of the railway and on highway railway overpasses, and promptly clean up light objects around the railway that may interfere with transportation safety.
Yeah, so you got a bunch of hair. I was
In addition, the Southern Railway has deployed personnel to strengthen inspection and monitoring in flood-prone areas such as the back slope of the tunnel entrance, long and steep road sections, river embankments, and roadbeds with poor geological conditions and special terrain, so as to prevent hidden risks and dangers from arising in advance. In order to ensure the smooth travel of passengers, Pingshan North, Yichun, Jingdezhen North, Shangrao, Ningde, Zheng, and other stations prepared anti-slip mats in advance, added anti-slip safety reminders in waiting rooms, overpasses, tunnels, and other places with dense passenger flow, added personnel to provide guidance in important areas such as platforms and stairs, and organized cleaners to strengthen the cleaning of water on the ground to prevent passengers from slipping and falling. The Railway Department reminded passengers to pay close attention to the announcements on the platforms and 12,306 stations so that they can keep abreast of the railway operating conditions and arrange their travel reasonably.
You can't even see nothing, even if you're on the train. Still trying to deliver food at night. He's like, I got a next money plan.
The Central Weather Bureau issued an instant message about severe thunderstorms in the early hours of the 4th. Not only did spring thunder rumble in New Taipei and New Taipei City, but hail also fell in Xinyi, Nihu, Nangang, and Wenshan districts in Taipei City, and Cixi, Xindian, and Zhang districts in New Taipei City. Netizens on social media took photos of the incident, and some commented on it, such as the windows kept banging. And no wonder there was a constant sound of breaking objects in the middle of the night. The Central News Agency and Meteorological Agency warned that due to the passage of the front, there is potential for local heavy rain in the northern and eastern parts of the central region, accompanied by lightning and strong winds, as well as strong convection that can cause hail. The formation of hail is similar to rain, but when rising air currents carry water vapor upwards, they can also carry condensed water droplets to higher places. At this time, if the temperature at high places is below 0 degrees Celsius, these water droplets can condense into ice crystals, which will eventually fall to the ground and form hail because the rising air currents cannot support their weight.
And what's so interesting is like they're going through crazy lengths to protect things. They're not protecting themselves. They don't give a damn about themselves. They want to protect their business. They want to protect their thing. Wow. Yeah. See where the priorities are at. This is Johannesburg, Africa. Put out there today.
And the water is rising, you can see it.
Get in the get safe. The water gets safe. Keep me light. I'm going out of the house. Blame it.
See?
Okay,
No, I don't know. So I can understand that. I think it's too much now.
It's about Trinity here. I don't know if anyone's out there. They're not out.
All these millionaires at?
This complex's wall is all gone. Look at the water over here.
Completely destroyed.
My
You're destroying
word.
these
Look at
people's
all the
land
bricks
that
in the road.
belongs to them.
And it's washed all the way down to the
Remove them
Barbados
from the land
Nordia.
that does not belong to them.
It's washed away.
Can't go one way, can't go the other way. They're turning around and going right back into another bullet shit. Mama, going across the road. What did the chicken do?
There's
Across
some
the
guys
road?
trying to get the people out of the car, but
Little cars.
Ish.
All these places got all these little cars there, not prepared. You realize it now.
Oh my God.
That's gonna make people want to invest in American cars. Even that ain't gonna stop it. Elements of beautiful synchronicity. Blowing water jets at you.
A stolen water pipe kan het niet hanteren. Hoeveel de water hier?
Johannesburg, South Africa. Look how nasty all that is. You ain't all in your water.
Flash floods have been reported in parts of Johannesburg, the city's emergency management services, EMS, said on Wednesday night. Several videos that emerged on various social media networks showed various areas flooded, including a complex in Honeyoke. In another video, a car can be seen being pushed back by heavy currents.
Wow. Ain't getting nowhere. Now you're getting pushed back. You done did all that time around.
I think it's too much money, and I don't want to be overwhelmed. Okay, can I tell you? I think why it's also good is because then the other partner knows how to support you.
EMS spokesperson Robert Muladzi urged motorists to exercise caution while driving, keep a safe following distance, and avoid crossing flooded roads and low-lying bridges. We remain on high alert overnight together with our specialized unit, which responds to water-related emergencies. We also have our disaster management monitoring teams in all 7 regions of the city, he said.
The only people I see on here is 83. That's it. These little cars.
Coach EMS spokesperson appealed to drivers to keep a safe distance from other cars and to avoid crossing flooded roads and bridges. On Tuesday, the South African Weather Service, SAWS, issued a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms with heavy downpours, damaging winds, excessive lightning, and hail, leading to localized flooding of susceptible roads and settlements and localized damage to infrastructure in parts in Mpumalanga, KwaZulu-Natal, and Northern Cape, but not Gauteng.
Disregard. Why people don't give a damn about it? They're going to do what they're going to do. You get stopped in their tracks.
Videos on social media show flooded roads and residential areas, with one video capturing a white vehicle being swept away by water along Paul Kruger Drive near Wilkuel, Rooiport.
Oh my God.
The Joburg Roads Agency, JRA, urged motorists to obey road signs, traffic signs, and especially road closures due to flooded bridges or unsafe conditions. In the event of flooding or where residents are at risk, it is advisable to immediately evacuate the area and seek a place of safety, the JRA said. Residents and road users are encouraged to report all road and stormwater-related emergencies to our standby team. Meanwhile, earlier on Wednesday, JRA officials were clearing stormwater drainage at Jan Smuts Avenue and Feeder Road in response to the rains that Johannesburg has been experiencing.
The car is completely underwater, y'all. And they still trying to drive through it. That's crazy. No fucks given. No fucks given. Let's on to the next one. This is in Turkey.
Elim dedim merdiven. Ulan yüzmesi daha kolay galiba.
What is that? Cow? Yeah. Well, you can use it to make a way.
Evet.
Cow.
Dana boyu kar var.
Allah! Ne yapıyorsun oğlum? Yavaş. Bunu daha kaçamıyor. Bunun kaçamıyor ha.
Ain't no getting around that.
Bu daha durduramaz o araba. Eyvah. Allah!
Ooh, about to hit that person.
Vay.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. See? That's why we were so all of it out there.
Eyvah. Ay eyvah.
This is bad. Oh, bad. Everybody's car is messed up. Ain't no getting around it. Look at that. How high that is. All the way in the back. That was at least 10 feet.
Gel.
All the extra energy you gotta burn to do all this moving everything. And the wind chill is just ending. Elements are working. Beautiful synchronicity. Nothing. Everything's at a standstill. No business open. People get a bowl of soup, hot coffee, tea. People still continue to see kind of drive. Whole part. Whole car is covered.
Sibirya, hoş geldiniz.
No let up. All the way to the first floor, y'all. It's the second floor. Holy. That's crazy.
Hadi oğlum gel oraya batarsın gel.
Ne bak?
Wow.
İyi akşamlar. Yine kar yağışı devam ediyor.
I didn't think it was this bad.
Gece
It's bad,
çıktı
y'all.
biz de tadını çıkaralım diye.
It is bad around the world.
Merhaba.
Severe snowfall disrupts life across Turkey, leading to widespread road closures. Heavy snowfall and blizzard conditions have significantly impacted daily life across 18 provinces in Turkey, resulting in the closure of 2,173 roads as reported by state-run TRT on Sunday.
Nothing's in motion.
Gördüğünüz gibi.
Ain't no going to the grocery store, ain't no going to the club. Hotels is probably your best place, but hospitals,
In the eastern province of Van, the metropolitan municipality has reported that access to 19 neighborhoods and 35 hamlets has been severed due to snow accumulation and adverse weather. In Ursus district, where snow depths have reached 40 centimeters, street clearing operations are currently in progress.
I've seen that snowman, though. That snowman is on guard. Security.
Meanwhile, in Mus province, efforts are underway to restore access for residents, although 46 village roads remain blocked. In the southeastern province of Bitlis, local transport has been heavily affected, with 50 village roads completely impassable.
The amount of people that can't get milk.
In Hakkari province, of the 34 settlements isolated by heavy snowfall on Friday, 32 have been reconnected thanks to the diligent work of snow clearing teams. However, avalanche risks have halted operations on roads leading to Allen Village in the Sembinli district and Aktapra hamlet in Yeksikova.
The amount of work that is going to take to Because you know they're gonna want everybody want to rebuild. So it's just a amount of extra inconvenience. If we can't be comfortable, we're equally.
The Black Sea region has also been severely affected, particularly in higher altitude villages. In Kastamonu, transportation disruptions have been reported in mountainous areas, while Sinop has seen 282 village roads closed due to snow. The Sinop Provincial Governor's Office has cautioned that adverse weather conditions, including snow and ice, are expected to persist until midday Monday. As winter nears its end, Turkey is experiencing widespread snowfall from east to west, disrupting daily life and transportation. While Istanbul saw its most significant snowfall in months, authorities warned that the wintry conditions would persist through the weekend. Schools across much of the country suspended in-person education due to the severe weather. In eastern Turkey, heavy snowfall paralyzed transportation, with some areas buried under more than 30 centimeters, 12 inches of snow. Erzurum, Kars, Agri, Erzincan, Ardahan, and Tunceli were among the hardest hit provinces, where 1,816 settlements became inaccessible due to road closures. Municipal teams worked around the clock to clear streets, sidewalks, and public spaces, while icicles formed on rooftops and fountains as temperatures dropped sharply. Istanbul, home to nearly 16 million people, was closely monitored as snowfall continued intermittently. The city's traffic remained unusually light on the last business day of the week as many residents opted for public transportation instead of driving. The suspension of in-person education further eased congestion. In line with precautions announced by the governor's office, motorcycles and courier services were temporarily banned from the roads to ensure safety. One of the most notable effects of the snowfall in Istanbul was a sharp rise in the city's water reserves. The average water level in reservoirs supplying the metropolis climbed 10.23 percentage points in the past week, reaching 70.05%, according to data from the Istanbul Water and Sewerage Administration, ISKI. The city's reservoirs had seen dangerously low levels, falling to 27.49% in late November before the recent precipitation helped replenish them. Despite the freezing temperatures, Istanbul's snowfall also brought moments of joy. In Taksim Square, a popular tourist destination, police officers and residents engaged in a spontaneous snowball fight, providing a rare scene of camaraderie amid the cold. Tourists gathered around the iconic Republic Monument, capturing the snow-covered cityscape in photographs. Across the city, people danced in the streets, played in the snow, and strolled along the seaside, reveling in the winter atmosphere. Elsewhere in the country, the Black Sea region also experienced significant snowfall, particularly in the western and mountainous areas. In Kastamonu, access to 303 villages was temporarily cut off as snow blanketed the region. Local authorities deployed teams to reopen blocked roads. In Samsun, where temperatures dropped to -4 degrees Celsius, 24 degrees Fahrenheit, rooftops and vehicles were covered in a thick white layer, while icy conditions left some cars stranded on the roads. In contrast, Turkey's southern provinces saw little impact from the snow, with only mountainous areas receiving significant accumulation. Urban centers in the region remained largely unaffected. Authorities have urged residents to exercise caution in the coming days as winter conditions persist, with meteorologists forecasting more snowfall over the weekend in many parts of the country.
Wow. That's Turkey for you. Let's keep it going. Island. power is gone. You don't know where it's you're not gonna want. You can't have it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's good.
Les gars, c'est une dinguerie. C'est une dinguerie. Et regarde ça. Putain, mais d'où est-ce qu'elles sortent les voitures? Mais c'est un truc de malade. Mais c'est quoi ce cyclone? Hé, madame, regardez, madame, elle va se noyer.
Wow. You ain't getting nowhere. How you gonna get past that? Road is completely blocked.
Several killed as Cyclone Garance slams into France's Reunion Island. Cyclone Garance killed at least 4 people on France's Reunion Island, authorities said on Saturday. The deadly storm hit the island early Friday, triggering flash floods, mudslides, and electrical storms, and leaving hundreds of thousands of people without access to water or electricity. French authorities said Saturday that at least 4 people died in Cyclone Garance's devastating crossing of the Indian Ocean island of La Réunion. The body of a man was found trapped under one of thousands of trees ripped up by winds of up to 230 kilometers, 143 miles, per hour that tore across the island of some 900,000 people on Friday, authorities said, giving the new toll. The other victims, 2 women and a man, were carried away by flash floods, trapped in a mudslide, or killed by an electrical fire sparked by the storm, according to the prefecture. More than 180,000 people were left without electricity and more than 170,000 without water, authorities said. The island's international airport was to reopen late Saturday. The nearby tourist island of Mauritius shut its main airport on Wednesday, while Reunion shut down the flights on Thursday. About 200 firefighters and civil aid workers were to be sent from Mayotte, a French territory nearly 1,500 kilometers away in mainland France, the government said. Troops have also been put on standby. Residents posted pictures online of uprooted trees, torn off roofs, and flooded homes. Entire streets were inundated and cars washed away. Patrice Lactron, a central government representative on the island, said a lot of work would be needed with many roads blocked by fallen trees. Roads are flooded, roads are cut off, and some washed away. Bridges have come down, he added. It exited the southwest of the island several hours later, French weather office Météo France said, adding that the worst of the storm had passed. A red alert ordering the population to stay indoors was lifted on Saturday morning after Garance was downgraded to a severe tropical storm. The body of a man was found trapped under a tree in the capital, St. Denis, authorities said on Saturday. The other victims, 2 women and a man, were carried away by flash floods, trapped in a mudslide, or killed by an electrical fire, authorities said on Friday.
There's no recovery for that.
Around 160,000 people were still without electricity, while more than 950 were staying in temporary accommodation centers on Saturday. More than 310,000 residents had no access to drinking water, and nearly 140,000 were without internet access. Patrice Lectrin, the central government representative on the island, said a lot of work would be needed, with many roads blocked by fallen trees. During the passage of the cyclone on Friday, Météo France recorded winds of up to 230 kilometers, 143 miles, per hour in Piton St. Rose on the island's eastern coast. The nearby tourist island of Mauritius shut its main airport on Wednesday, while La Réunion shut down flights on Thursday. Its international airport was to reopen late on Saturday. Alina Thiebe, a resident of St. Susan on the coast, said she was worried the roof of her house would collapse after the storm destroyed her garden fence. Around 100 troops and firefighters were to be dispatched from Mayotte, a French territory nearly 1,500 kilometers away, as soon as weather conditions permit. Another 100 were to go there from mainland France. La Réunion and Mauritius, around 225 kilometers to the northeast, have been on high alert since Wednesday. Mauritius shut its main airport on Wednesday, while La Réunion did the same on Thursday.
Nothing. No party, no respect, no vacation. All the Airbnb.
France's Interior Minister Bruno Retailleau said Friday that Garance was of a rare intensity, while Defense Minister Sébastien Lecornu said armed forces stood ready to provide assistance. In the capital, St. Denis, residents had scrambled to stock up on essentials before the alert was raised. Farmers dismantled greenhouses and fishermen pulled boats onto land. It is a feeling of being powerless, said Jean-Christophe Porot, a farmer. Marie-Rose Gaze, 61, who lives in St. Denis, told Agence France Presse that she had seen all kinds of things blown out of the building across from her home. Satellite dishes, clotheslines, and even chunks of cement. At one point, she feared the whole building would come down, she said.
Whole building? Yeah. You want to talk about a building coming down? Oh, yes. Let's go ahead and get to that. Hang on.
Join me as I dive into the aftermath of the massive earthquake that rocked China and see if I can capture the real impact of this disaster on camera. A powerful earthquake has struck China, causing widespread destruction and chaos, and in today's video, we're going to take a closer look at the devastating impact of this disaster. The sheer force of the earthquake has left a trail of destruction in its wake. with 2 skyscrapers collapsing in a matter of seconds, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation. The footage is simply breathtaking, and it's a miracle that anyone managed to escape alive. Rescue operations are underway as emergency services work tirelessly to search for survivors, but the challenges they are facing are immense. The rubble is strewn across the streets, making it difficult to access the affected areas, and the infrastructure damage is extensive. The earthquake has also disrupted communication networks, making it hard for rescue teams to coordinate their efforts.
Nobody needed any help.
The rescue efforts are being hindered by the fact that many buildings in the surrounding area have been damaged, making it difficult to establish a secure base of operations. Furthermore, the heavy rain that's been falling in the area is making it difficult to navigate the rubble-filled streets.
Businesses, all products are damaged.
The authorities are doing their best to restore electricity and water supply, but it's a slow process and many residents are still without basic necessities.
I don't know why he has
The
springs in
full
the back.
extent of the damage is still unclear, but what is certain is that the earthquake has had a profound impact on the community.
No.
Many residents have been left homeless, and the local economy is likely to take a significant hit. The region in which the earthquake occurred is prone to seismic activity, and there have been several earthquakes in the area in recent years.
It was a 100-year city in anticipation that everybody went to China and they would be the global place where everybody went to.
However, the magnitude of this earthquake is
show you every location around
and
the world
the
because it's like,
devastation
okay, where
is
you going to
unlike anything the region has seen before.
America, where you going to go? This is awesome.
The local community is in shock, and the impact on the economy will be felt for months to come.
Observing, reporting. These are the things that are happening. People that do not look like.
The location of the earthquake in the heart
And
of
I
a
show you
densely
everything about the
populated
world so you
city
can understand.
has made the rescue efforts even more
And you not
challenging.
say it in your regular local news. Most of the local news just want to sit there and post up dogs.
The narrow
Adopt
streets
dogs,
and
adopt
tall
cats.
buildings have
Don't pay
created a maze of rubble, making it difficult for rescue teams to navigate. The city's infrastructure was already under strain, and the earthquake has pushed it to the breaking point.
What is that, 1 billion people? A billion people to the breaking point?
In a moment, I'll share with you the dramatic footage of the skyscrapers
people like, I can't take
collapsing
this
in
shit no
real
more.
time.
It's bending and breaking.
But before that, let me give you some context about the region's history of seismic activity and how it has affected the local community. Here's the footage of the earthquake as it happened, showing the exact moment when the two skyscrapers came crashing down. It's a truly shocking sight, and it's a miracle that anyone managed to escape alive. It's a truly heartbreaking sight, and it's a reminder of the power of nature.
That it is. Not letting up.
The footage is a sobering reminder of the impact of natural disasters on our lives. It's a harrowing sight, and it's hard to imagine what it must have been like to be there when the earthquake struck. The scale of the destruction is simply staggering, and it's a miracle that anyone managed to survive. Let's recap the key points about the earthquake's impact and the ongoing situation regarding recovery efforts. The authorities are working hard to restore basic necessities like electricity and water, but it's a slow process. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video.
So it's rocking out there in China. It's not just China.
Join me as I dive into the aftermath of the massive earthquake in Korea. And see if I can help rescue trapped people from the collapsed subway. A massive earthquake has struck Korea, leaving a trail of destruction and chaos in its wake. The quake, which measured a staggering 7.8 on the Richter scale, has caused widespread devastation, with the hardest hit area being the capital city. Emergency responders are facing unprecedented challenges as they rush to rescue those trapped beneath the rubble. The collapse of the subway tunnel has added an extra layer of complexity to the situation, with rescuers having to navigate treacherous terrain to reach those in need. The situation is dire, with every minute counting in the race against time to save as many lives as possible. The sheer scale of the disaster is daunting, with buildings reduced to rubble and streets littered with debris. As rescue teams work tirelessly to search for survivors, the full extent of the damage is slowly beginning to emerge. The subway collapse has also raised concerns about the structural integrity of other buildings in the area, with experts warning of potential secondary disasters. Meanwhile, The cries for help from those trapped are growing fainter by the minute.
Everybody.
Desperate family members are gathered outside the rubble, anxiously waiting for any news of their loved ones.
Done.
The air is thick with fear, uncertainty, and desperation
Fear.
as the reality of the situation sets in.
This is not false evidence, though.
The scope of the destruction is staggering, with entire city blocks reduced to ruins. The once bustling streets are now eerily silent, save for the sound of sirens and screams.
This is evidence appearing truly.
Personal accounts from those who managed to escape the
appearing
subway
truly.
are harrowing, with tales of panicked passengers,
Extremely real.
collapsing tunnels, and desperate attempts to flee. As rescue efforts continue, the hope of finding survivors is dwindling.
Can't even get the emergencies
But
out.
then, a glimmer of hope appears, a faint cry for help, a sign of life
All the
amidst
different
the
machines.
rubble.
All the different buildings. No infrastructure everywhere.
The scenes are reminiscent
Completely
of a
unfair.
war
We got
zone
items
with
that fell
twisted
down
metal
together.
and broken
Cash
concrete
them out of
littering the
shrinkage.
streets.
Damaged goods. You have to sell them at a discount now.
Personal
You can't get the
testimonies
premium
from
prices
those
that you
trapped
usually
in
get
the
in
subway
the
are harrowing, with many
You
recounting
can't
the
sell those
terrifying
pictures selling at
moments
$20 a
as
pop.
the ground shook beneath them.
Got a whole cart of eggs cracked and broken.
The rescue efforts
Everywhere,
are
y'all.
ongoing, with teams working around the clock to locate survivors and provide medical assistance
You
to
got
those
grid
in need.
communication down. How you gonna get to these people? Completely trapped.
The sounds of
Everything
sirens
going down.
and
Look at that.
drilling equipment fill the air
People's
as rescuers
respirators.
battle against the clock
Cat
to reach
king.
those trapped.
Food. All of that stuff.
As the rescue effort
All the food
enters
spoiling.
its third day, the
Whatever you
situation
thought you
is
had,
becoming
had left.
increasingly desperate.
It's not your grandma's waterbed, sir.
Está temblando brígido.
You all the way
The
on the top
screams
floor.
of those trapped are growing fainter, and
Yeah,
the window of
really real.
opportunity to rescue them is rapidly closing.
Everybody.
As the
Everybody
rescue efforts reach a critical stage, a
Glass
breakthrough
everywhere.
has
You get hit by
finally
a
been
big old
made.
piece of glass. That's a big glass. Counterfeit glass. Bulletproof bomb.
Rescuers have discovered a group of survivors trapped in the subway tunnel and are working to carefully extract them
All the
from the
ancestors
rubble.
for coffee. Go ahead.
The scenes
You want
are
me to respond to any of
emotional
these
as
buildings?
families are reunited and the survivors are whisked away to receive medical attention.
That shaking is shaking beam. Knocking structured
This
wood.
pivotal moment marks a turning point in the
Loosening
rescue
of
effort
screws
as
and
hope
loosening
begins
of
to
nails.
replace despair.
Right.
Oh, está temblando.
La mea volada, weón.
Yes.
In conclusion, the earthquake in Korea is a stark reminder of the importance of earthquake preparedness in urban settings.
All of that.
Thanks for watching.
It's not over.
Before it suddenly erupted, and within 72 hours, No one knew it was a volcano before it suddenly erupted, and within 72 hours' time it caused the deaths of 2,000 people along with the destruction of 3 entire settlements. This disaster, which marked one of the deadliest volcanic eruptions to happen on the North American continent, occurred in Canada, yes, Canada of all places. And yet, few people in Canada know that this disaster ever took place. The setting of our story takes us to central western British Columbia, 760 kilometers north-northwest of Vancouver, to a spot bordered by mountains with small glaciers. There, within the local Crater Creek Valley, is the origin of this destructive eruption. This seemingly small cone, which rises a mere 68 meters or 190 feet above the surrounding landscape, marks the youngest vent of the CX Cone volcano. The eruption which formed this vent occurred during a several-month-long time span between approximately 1640 and 1740, with our current best guess being between June and September of 1700. This eruption would create a 32.2 kilometer or 19.9 mile long lava flow which buried any remnants of the tragedy it would cause, as it was not the lava flows that directly killed so many people. This is the story of how what is today interpreted as one of the least dangerous active volcanoes in all of North America led to one of the continent's deadliest eruptions. While the CX Cone is the only visibly recent volcanic product in the vicinity, this stretch of Canada has seen more than a dozen volcanic eruptions presumably occur during the last 1 million years, such as at this highly eroded 175,000-year-old lava flow. These vents might all be considered part of a single volcanic field which exists at the southernmost extent of a much broader area known as the Northern Cordilleran Volcanic Province. Here, the crust is slowly spreading apart to the east and west every year by as much as 2 centimeters or 0.79 inches. The aforementioned rifting does not occur along a singular fault or crack, but rather through numerous faults spread out over a wide area which has created numerous half-grabens. These faults create a path of least resistance for molten rock to intrude into, which allows it to intrude into the crust and occasionally erupt. One such fault was utilized presumably after the major Cascadia megathrust earthquake of 1700, causing molten rock to slowly rise through the crust. This generated a swarm of earthquakes which were repeatedly felt by locals. The earthquakes became stronger and stronger until magma reached the surface and created 100-meter-high lava fountains along an 800-meter-long fissure. As lava fell back to the ground, it rapidly flowed downslope and in 6 hours' time had already traveled 5.7 kilometers to reach the CX River Valley, also damming the river to the south to form a body of water called Lava Lake. After lava made this turn to the north is when the real tragedy struck. The lava flow and eruption had been emitting substantial amounts of carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide gas, all of which are lethal at varying concentrations and were heavier than residual air. As a result, these toxic gases traveled downhill, being confined by the river valley until it reached a bend in the river where it began pooling to lethal concentrations due to regional topography causing it to become trapped there. As a result, thousands immediately dropped unconscious and died, with a similar fate occurring to those who were sleeping, quietly being asphyxiated en masse. This occurred to 3 settlements and 2 additional outlying areas home to the Nisga'a, killing 2,000 people. The advancing basanite to trachy basalt lava continued downslope, eventually burying a fishing camp at hour 17. At hour 23, the lava flow reached a series of smokehouses, and as the lava turned the corner west into the Nass Valley, it diverted the pathway of the Nass River further northwards. The 3 villages were then completely buried by advancing lava flows, destroying every single structure by hour 45. This lava flow continued to slowly advance during the next 95 days, eventually traveling up to 32 kilometers from its source. A spouter rampart then began to grow, with 3 sets of vents ejecting moderate amounts of ash and feeding another lava flow which would reach the smokehouses 5 days later. The eruption then paused for a few hours, after which it resumed at only a singular vent as the 2 satellite vents became inactive. More viscous and gas-rich magma then began to erupt, resulting in the generation of a 5-kilometer or 16,400-foot-high eruption plume which ejected larger amounts of ash. A cinder cone started to grow during this phase via intermittent explosions of tephra which largely fell close to their source vent, creating a growing cone. The violent Strombolian phase lasted for 10 days, feeding a more viscous lava flow which eventually came to a halt, by which time the final phase of the eruption caused declining activity to collapse part of the northern cinder cone. In total, this eruption lasted for 120 days, covering 37.31 square kilometers or 14.41 square miles in a fresh layer of lava. The lava flows would take more than a decade to completely cool.
What?
This eruption proves that under a narrow set of circumstances which vary from volcano to volcano, that even an apparently not very dangerous volcanic system can prove to be quite lethal, which is why each and every world volcano needs to be studied.
You say that, man. Oh my goodness, man. See, I'm glad I'll be watching these things, man, because I just thank my young self for staying in school and getting good grades and paying attention and not playing it. I mean, I was a class clown, and when I got in trouble, obviously. But man, it just knowing about a lot of these locations and what was going on, it's interesting because a lot of these smaller things that look like mounds, and I've traveled everywhere across the whole country anyway. So, but just locations where it looked just very auspicious and very suspicious and ominous and just perplexing and far-fetched, and I just something stood out to me and I paid attention to it. I have a book. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, yeah, right. So I think I'm gonna read this book for y'all one day. I think it's gonna be interesting. My father, this was my father's book. He ordered this book. Uh, uh, I'm gonna actually look into this website. But let me just show it. I think people can actually appreciate this. Let me go back here. So this was my father's book. He got this book, but Sacred Sites, Sacred Places, One World Archaeology. This book is especially timely and will be very influential in the acknowledgement of the importance of the landscapes and the heritage of non-monumental cultures. UNESCO has only recently decided that natural features of the landscape may now be designated as significant cultural landscapes and thus be included in its World Heritage Site list. It is timely to ask, therefore, whether we can really understand the meaning of sacred in another culture. How can we recognize places of specific significance if these are what others call part of the natural landscape? That part. Sacred sites, sacred places explore the concept of sacred and what it means to people in differing cultures. Archaeologists, legislators, and those involved in heritage management sometimes come into conflict with local populations over sites which these communities consider to be sacred. This book is unique in attempting to describe the belief system surrounding such sites and in relating these beliefs and practices to the practical problems of heritage management with the aid of over 70 illustrations. The book demonstrates the need to accommodate those beliefs, which are a vital part of ongoing cultural identity. The geographical coverage of the book is exceptionally wide, and its range of contributors, including indigenous people, archaeologists, anthropologists, and heritage professionals, is unrivaled in any other publication. The editors, okay. So, I might actually have to make this one of my next couple of reads. I got a bunch of books, y'all, that I ain't even gotten to yet. So, y'all gonna have to bear with me when it comes trying to get up to all of these books to read it, because I will, trust me, I will want to be on here like reading all of these books. That's my thing. I love to do this. So, but yeah, sacred geography of Northern California, sacred and secular Neolithic landscapes in Ireland, secular landscapes in Irish Neolithic, sacred places of the Arctic regions, sacred sites in Madagascar, Mescalero Apaches sacred sites in sensitive areas, sacred sites of the Bamenda grass fields of Cameroon, and study of sacred sites in the Insofondum, Bukusu sacred sites, sacrificial places and their meaning in Saami society, the Mijikinda Kaya as a sacred site, the perception of treatment of prehistoric and contemporary sacred places and sites in Poland, Islam on the Kenyan coast, an overview of Kenyan coastal sacred sites, a ceremony in the cave of Idolatry, an 18th century document from the I can't even say the word, Diocesan Historic Archive, Chiapas, Mexico, at the mouth of the Obsidian Cave, deity and place of in Aztec religion, Sto, low sacred ground, the spirits of the Chugach people of Alaska are at rest once again. Wa'ahi, Tapu, Maori sacred sites, principles and practices of sites protection laws in Australia. That's interesting because of what's going on in Hulu. Hold on, what's that? Introduction and legislation protecting Aboriginal sites, sacred sites, Aboriginal beliefs and legal dilemmas, site recording, site legislation and site protection, sacred sites in Northern Territory legislation. All right. When sacred lands is sacred to 3 tribes, San Juan Paiute sacred sites and the Hopi Navajo Paiute sued to partition the Arizona Navajo Reservation. Tourism in the Bighorn Medicine Wheel, how multiple use does not work for sacred land sites. In Stakis, the Nitsitapis, sacred mountains, natural, traditional native religious activities, and land use tourism conflict. I don't know what the hell my daddy was trying to be on, but God bless his soul, because he definitely is passing some stuff down to me. So bless his little Holy Spirit. And so, yeah, this might be one of them things. I got a lot of crazy books, y'all. I got some books. All praise to the Most High. Wow. But when we think about these sites, we don't think about them being sacred. And I've been every nook and cranny of this country, and I have treated every place I've gone as such a sacred place. Because you got to think what was here before the Miami skyscrapers went up, the New York skyscrapers, the Denver skyscrapers, the Indianapolis skyscrapers, the St. Louis skyscrapers, the Los Angeles, San Francisco skyscrapers, the Needle and Seattle skyscrapers, the Dallas and Austin and Houston and Galveston and San Antonio, El Paso, all of these places, Atlanta, these places everywhere that you go. South Carolina, North Carolina. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, man. I just spoke to a sister about me trying to find my trace and find my indigenous tribe. So thank you. Thank you for that. Because now seeing what is going on in North Carolina and South Carolina, these lands are being removed from people that do not belong there. That's why they're called landlords. They were lords over the land. They were put there as pawns to guard and protect and keep people who look like us from even being around these places. And they murdered people there. to ward us off, to keep us from being any kind of suspicious or thinking of even taking it into consideration of what may be there. I love this. These are beautiful times that we're living in, beloveds. And I just be at more and more peace every time I'm doing this or just anything. I'm just constantly reading and researching, but definitely starts out with a good book first, but whew, man, I don't even get overweight. It's a lot of energy to be putting into this, especially like it's, for me, I don't have wife and kids, so I'm able to just like soak up all the game to be able to set them up and give them the alley-oop so they'd be good, but this is some stuff. Like all of these places are sacred. All of these places that I've driven past, they all look like volcanoes. They all look like places that something activity was going on. So yeah, let's keep it going. Almost there. We got some good stuff still.
Not one, but 2 active volcanoes. Don't believe me? Just ask the native Hopi people who witnessed and then fled the unusually powerful explosive volcanic eruption near Flagstaff 940 years ago, as tales of this eruption still exist. Or you can see the first-hand results of that eruption for yourself by visiting Sunset Crater National Monument, which contains a landscape covered in young-looking ash deposits of up to 40 feet thick. These ash products erupted alongside a series of extensive lava flows which burned regional forest across a period of several months, with these basalt lava flows going on to cover an area of 4.95 square miles or 12.83 square kilometers. Most of these eruptive products originated from the cinder cone from which this national monument gets its name, the Sunset Crater Cinder Cone, which rises 1,115 feet above the surrounding landscape and measures 1.1 miles across. The Sunset Crater eruption was about 1/5 as explosive as the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens, emplacing 0.28 cubic kilometers of tephra with at least 4 inches or 10 centimeters thick of ash falling across an area of 268 square miles. Yet, if you look around, you can see that dozens, no hundreds of similar features exist in close proximity, most of which are also cinder cones. Sunset Crater merely represents the youngest feature.
Let me pause this. I promise y'all, if y'all have not traveled, you have to travel. Please travel. I know that your pockets is only going to allow you to go where you can go. If you only got $5 in your pocket, it's only going to get you down to the liquor store. But I'm just saying, like, it seems like my job allows me to travel on unlimited. So I'm unlimitedly driving everywhere. I'll stop and I may look up a place. I may drive to a state and I may look up their monuments. I may look up their landscape. I may look up whatever. And for one, I'll look at my route. If my route presents the opportunity for me to go to places like this, I'm going to go kiss that ground. I'm going to go liberate our people because they needed that. Look how many people that have just walked over the bloodshed. So what we are witnessing is the scourging, the scouring and scourging and forging of the lands, the rinsing, the deep soaking and rinsing, the freezing of the what is that, like the the hogwarts of the warts and the boils and the bunions of the lands getting frozen off and getting shaken from the foundation. Like, I promise you that, man. Thank you, Most High.
Feature of a much broader volcanic field known as the San Francisco Volcanic Field.
Yes.
This still active, albeit currently quiet volcanic field contains almost.
And I'm glad he just brought it up that everything is so much more active than it ever was because of the planetary alignments. They can't stop or control the planets being in the Earth, being in our skies right now. Each one of these are emitting a beautiful frequency that is drumming and humming the lands. And it is extracting and pulling all of the magma from the core up to the surface on all of these different locations. Every single one of these locations are somehow now getting smoke, geysers. Well, obviously everything is shaking, and so it's just knocking loose all the sediment. But and then they're adding on with the extra with the fracking and just doing stupid stuff right now. Look how many people then just obliterated their land. Look at Brazil. They've been chopping down the Amazon forest to plant soybeans. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. And some of that soil in the Amazon was super soil, so that's why they were trying to do that stuff as well. But all of these places, the magma from the core is coming right up. It's literally ejaculating into places that you wouldn't have thought that would have been. It's ejecting. I didn't mean to say ejaculating, but it's ejecting into the locations. And then about to just splooge out, I guess. But you already see many of the places that are already going through it right now. But I'm paying attention to the places where nobody's thinking and looking at it. That's what I'm paying attention to. Because wow, we got our eyes over. Hey, look over there. It's over here, sir. It's right over in your backyard. Just like that up in Canada that just happened. They didn't think it was going to see it. It's funny because it they thought it was going to go north. They thought it was going to go down south, down the river, and that it went and made a north turn and went up to the smokehouse area, the fish camp area, and smoked them out. That's how much they don't know what's going. Yeah, let me shut up. Let me cook.
Everything a volcanologist could ask for, an originally 16,000 foot tall stratovolcano which once had substantial glacial coverage, lava domes, cinder cones, more explosion craters, lava tubes, and even some obsidian-rich lava flows. In total, these more than 600 distinct vents have been in place across the last 6 million years, being spread across an area of just under 6,000 square kilometers. With the exception of 5 vents that erupted multiple times, every other vent is monogenetic, meaning it erupted once and then never erupted again, with Sunset Crater being one such example of a monogenetic vent. These vents generally get progressively older the further west you go, and younger the further east you go. While we aren't 100%
just because it was a one-night stand don't mean it didn't feel good. Don't mean you may not still want to hit it.
Sure why this volcanic field exists, this trend of younger volcanism moving opposite the direction of the North American plate suggests an origin of an underlying mantle hotspot which is likely 100 to 200 degrees Celsius hotter than the surrounding mantle. This causes more buoyant molten rock to rise and intrude into the crust, forming a cluster of volcanic vents. Most initial eruptions emplaced low-viscosity basalt lava, which traveled fairly sizable distances and formed cinder cones.
It's interesting because what's happening on the surface, the beautiful thing that's happening on the surface is that you have the wind, you have the sun, you have the earthquakes, you have the rain and the hail and all of these other water elements. You have all these other 3 elements that are coming. Okay, you got the sun is fire, and then below is fire as well. So as above, so below. But you have all of these elements that are literally like marinating the ground for what is to come. That's what's happening right now. Whether it's fires, whether it's the fires is literally loosening the ground, because if they're burning down the trees are the sediment and the ground is you got mudslides. So the ground itself is literally easily susceptible to anything, whether it's a geyser or anything, just popping out. And that's what's happening everywhere. Even Yellowstone. I ain't even got to Yellowstone, but that's what's happening too.
More explosion craters would form if substantial groundwater existed over a
I ain't even gotta say nothing. I promise you, I have not watched these videos before I showed them to y'all. I promise y'all. I don't think there's any videos that maybe the World Star videos, but any of the YouTube scientific videos that I show you guys, it just speaks to my spirit. That like the Holy Spirit just gives me what she gives me, and I just be like, all right, I'm gonna do what you say. But I guess every time I'm speaking is just every time I'm dreaming, every time I'm doing something, it's literally like falling right after it it makes me giggle. It makes me giggle and chuckle inside. Like, what am I on to? It's just like, but great glory.
A rising magmatic intrusion. However, if an unusually large batch of magma remained in the crust for an extended period of time, it could experience fractional crystallization, allowing for more viscous lava varieties to erupt multiple times and form a polygenetic center. This form.
Okay, so I bring this stuff up because I know that I have that book here, or matter of fact, I didn't order it. My apologies. I ain't even gonna sit here and say that I got it, but I have something of that correlation of. That's why I say travel. Just go out to your local, go on hikes. Especially in all of these places where there is activity going on. Go where the places where it is massive floodings. After it finishes raining and flooding, like where I'm at now, I don't got no car. Just because I know that car was gonna have me driving and going and being occupied, and I wouldn't be doing the work that I'm doing. I'd have probably been going seeing family and friends and been being stupid. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being here working out and fasting and studying and doing all of the great work that I'm doing now. So I'm so grateful that the Most High just kind of humbles me in that department. Now, I don't mean I can't go. I can go get a car. I can get any car I want. It's still, I got to be mindful of the cars because obviously every car is getting flooded. So they're going to be selling, because a lot of these companies, every industry, every company, every corporation is freaking desperate right now because they're hemorrhaging a lot of money. Whether it's a used car company that's getting cars from hurricane-stricken areas, they going out to Florida and buying these cars and bringing them over to California and saying, "Oh yeah, they work perfectly. Oh yeah, but this car was in flood damage." So now the motherboard is waterlogged. Come on, man. My mother used to tell me ain't no hustler's remorse, man. These people will sell you a $10,000 casket for your baby. Oh, how much do you love your baby? No, it's just how much you love your pockets. Money just make you more the person that you already was. So who are you outside of your badge at the end of the day? Anyways, but I bring this up because of rock hounding. I want our beloved people to get interested into rock hounding, going to these very sacred places that I just got finished mentioning. See, now Sister Lisa Cabrera, shout out to Sister Lisa Cabrera because she brought up this on about the population growing in certain locations. And these certain locations, I was in the chat, I was like, ooh, she just hit the nail on the button right there because I've been to these locations and I've seen and a lot of our people in these locations that where our population is growing, like Utah and stuff like that. Many of these places, like Iowa, many of our people was like, it was in the movie Get Out. They was in a sunken place. They didn't know what they looked at me. They was so happy to see another black, dark-skinned brother, and especially a soul brother. A brother with a black name, a super black name, black ass name. I got the blackest black ass name I got. I'm happy that I got it. But that's why I stuck with it. I'm just so black, regardless of how you cut it, But I encourage my brothers and sisters to get into rock hounding. Get out in the nature, go on those walks, go on those trails, go on Amazon, get your rock hounding kit, go get you a metal detector, go buy you go invest in a metal detector, go get you a rock hounding kit. Lo and behold, when I get back on the route, I'm about to go get me some of this stuff because you got Hurricane Helene, you got Milton, you got the rain out here in the Northern Californias. What the water washes away will showcase what is under it. And the things that are shiny, like I said, you have major earthquake activity that is going on right now. You have major earthquake activity right now that is shaking up and unearthing many of these things that are under this. So you're going to find jewels. I don't know where to find them. I don't want to get on here and say them, but yeah. You have plenty of places where the gems are being popped up, just like I just said with the volcanic, with all of these different gases and pressures and lava flowing and pressure makes things. That's how diamonds get made, right? That's how emeralds and beryls and all these emerald gems and all of these things. You're going to start seeing gems that ain't never been seen in a very long time. You're going to start seeing plethoras of geodes. You can find geodes at any lake bed. I promise you. Go walk along a stream next to waterfalls and stuff like that. You will find the most beautiful geodes. You'll find amethyst, especially amethyst. Amethyst is everywhere. All throughout the Appalachian Mountains is so much. It's an amazing vein. That's why they don't want us going out to the Grand Canyon, because it's an amazing vein. Utah, it's an amazing vein. Wyoming, it's an amazing vein. Alaska, it's an amazing vein. Central California, it's an amazing vein along the San Andreas Fault. North Carolina, South Carolina, Arkansas, the natural state, Indiana, the southern part of Indiana. Yeah. Michigan. Yeah, it's out here. So, interesting.
Formed the andesite to dacite lava dome complex volcanoes of Bill Williams Mountain, Sid Greaves Mountain, Kendrick Peak, and O'Leary Peak, alongside the creation of a towering stratovolcano which for more than 100,000 years was likely the tallest point in what is today the lower 48 U.S. states. San Francisco Peak represented a towering stratovolcano which at one time was quite similar in appearance to California's modern Mount Shasta.
Now,
it formed...
That's the one place that I really want to go, is Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is a very special place, y'all. Very, very, very. I mean, there's many other places too, but as long as I've been a kid, well, as long I ain't been a long kid, but I'm just saying, since a kid, Mount Shasta was the one place that just stuck out to me, because I watched the movie Mount St. Helens. It wasn't the movie, but it was the movie depicting Mount St. Helens when that blew. But Mount Shasta is the one that stuck out to me. And I remember, I think it was Pan's Labyrinth, or one of those, the never-ending story. That's something that is, I can't, I'm gonna just leave it at those two, Pan's Labyrinth and the never-ending story, that had me thinking about Mount Shasta and the Lemurian Crystal City. That's yeah. Whew, great glory.
Through hundreds of explosive eruptions which emplaced overlapping layers of andesite lava and ash, rising eventually to an elevation of 16,000 feet. However, probably due to a cryptodome forming on its eastern flank, a lateral blast ensued, causing large sections of the volcano to slide away, much like what happened at Mount St. Helens in 1980. This left behind a large east-northeast horseshoe-shaped scar, with the tallest remnant peak today being Humphreys Peak.
Wow.
Eruptions in recent times have solely occurred in the eastern one-third of the field, forming Merriam Crater 20,000 years ago, whose lava flows temporarily dammed the Little Colorado River, SP Crater with its highly scenic cinder cone and basaltic andesite lava flow in 3750 BCE.
In many of these locations, they still have a large cache of obsidian glass. A lot of that lava turns into obsidian, and it's glass. You can make, you can start selling on Etsy like some obsidian arrows. That'd be cute. Obsidian beads or some, whatever the case may be. I'm just saying, I'm just giving ideas, whatever. But man, you start finding stuff out here. Every one of these little places, I'm just saying, don't be there when it's active. But you never know, because that may be the point of where you might see a big old diamond just come out of the ground. I don't know. Great glory. If you summon it, it'll come.
And Sunset Crater in the year 1085. While this volcanic field will certainly erupt again, its recent rate of eruptions seem to be on the order of about once every 4,700 years on average. Future eruptions could be mildly explosive or highly explosive, although the most likely future eruption type will form a basaltic or basaltic andesite cinder cone with an associated lava flow. Since ash emissions during any future eruption could disrupt regional air traffic, and the major city of Flagstaff is fairly close by, the U.S. Geological Survey designated the San Francisco volcanic field as a moderate threat volcano. As a final note, I would like to thank this channel's patrons.
Yep, that's really real. Just like even just, whew, this is really real, y'all. It's getting like that. Even this, hold on, let me bring that one up as well. Let me bring that up and down. We'll swing over to the other one. But these regions are a lot of sacred places, and they have. These are the places that have the things, and it's not about going there to like be like some freaking barbaric treasure pile. No, this is to tap into places that call you, that you can go to, I guess, recharge, reheal, refill your gas tank up. We get so warped into everything in this, secular world and stuff like that, that we avoid any of the spiritual and holistic metaphysical attributes that we do have within us. So
Fascinating geologic monolith which rises 581 feet or 177 meters above the Pacific Ocean, which heads into Morro Bay. This structure has long fascinated locals, being visited by humans for more than 10,000 years, and is sometimes referred to as the Gibraltar of the Pacific. But how did this beautiful feature form, what is it composed of, and what relation does it have to similar nearby California rock formations? This video will answer all of these questions through the perspective and analysis of a geologist. As we zoom in on Morro Rock, which is located 104 miles west of the city of Bakersfield, you might note that this impressive monolith has the same color rock throughout. In other words, it is entirely composed of a singular rock type, with that being dacite. This is the exact same rock type that the vast majority of Mount St. Helens is composed of, including its two post-1980 lava domes. Dacite is a type of high silica but low alkali element content lava, which, while it can be associated with stress.
Okay, let me hold up 1 second. That is an interesting question. Dacite, an extrusive, ingenious, igneous rock. Doesn't directly form gems, but it's composed of minerals that can be found in gem quality materials such as plagioclase, feldspar, quartz, and potentially hornblende or biotite. Here's a more detailed breakdown. It's a volcanic rock primarily composed of silica and other minerals like quartz, hornblende, biotite, augite, and enstatite. It can be found rounded grains, quarters, structures often, meaning it contains larger crystals scattered in fine-grained ground mass. While it doesn't form gems, the mineral it contains can be found in gem quality materials. So, hey, just keep in mind. I don't know. Nah, just keep that in mind.
Stratovolcanoes is more often associated with the formation of lava domes. And indeed, the dacite of Morro Rock was associated with what was likely once a growing lava dome volcano. However, the dacite you see here is technically a hypobasal rock, also known as a subvolcanic rock, meaning it is technically an intrusive igneous rock that cooled at shallow depths of less than 2 kilometers or 1.2 miles. In the case of Morro Rock, the dacite lava represents the less eroded remnants of the rising magma which once filled much of its magma conduit, rather than the actual peak of the original volcano. It just so happens that the softer surrounding ground and rock, along with the original lava flow, which was much more susceptible to erosion, eroded away millions of years ago, causing the harder intrusive igneous rock, which was more resistant to erosion, to become exposed on the surface, hence its modern appearance. In other words, Moro rock represents what is known as a volcanic plug. Hypothetically speaking, if I was to cut away the top 3,000 feet of this lava dome emplaced in 1350 near Mono Lake and let some erosion occur, it might eventually create a similar looking feature. Looking around, you might note that there are other nearly identical features nearby. 2 miles to the east-southeast, you have Black Hill that is also made of dacite, representing yet another volcanic plug of a similar age. Yet, this chain of similar-looking features continues onwards, encompassing at least 13 total volcanic plugs, with some sources claiming the actual figure is 23 that extend along a lineament for 17 miles. Altogether, these volcanic plugs are known as the Nine Sisters, even though...
Where is this at? Hold up. Hold up. Where is that at? Hold on. Hold on. Let me look that up. I don't know. I'm not tripping. Where is that at? Oh, wow. That's right there. Huh. I've been there. Okay, so I have been there. I didn't see that, but I've been right. Yeah, I've been there. Okay. I've worked in this. I've worked in this whole area. Okay. I didn't pay attention to it. I have to look back at the cities that I've worked in. I don't think I've worked in exactly Morro Bay, but I know I've worked all right. Yeah, Polytechnic, New State University, San Luis Obispo. It's not too far from San Luis Obispo. It's not too far from what is that? All of that area that got burnt up, San Palos Verdes. It's like in the middle. It's like in the middle of California on the coast. So if you look between San Francisco and LA, it's kind of like far between both of them. So, but that whole region is beautiful. Yeah, if you drive down the one freeway from northern to southern California or southern to northern California, it don't matter. It is one of the most gorgeous rides you will ever take in your life. That I will stamp. I approve of that message. But this particular line is like spot on though. But it's interesting because of the fact that they have so much what is that geological um geothermal conducting. So a lot of the gas from these volcanoes, so they're extracting and using these places to get energy from. And so yes, you got company like I said, you have companies who are going into the tank and they're willing to overextend and over drill baby drill type of thing. And you got you have a lot of places around the world that have the susceptibility of being a Chernobyls of the world now because you have very, very greedy people who are willing to do these things and compromise these locations. And look at this whole line is in a whole, oh, my fact, I didn't mean to do that. This whole area is in a whole line of where this is in a city right here. All right here is a whole city. That's a whole city. Los Osos. I worked in Los Osos. I didn't know that was right outside of Morro. I think I worked in it. It sounds familiar, but I don't think so. But all of these places that they conduct all of this stuff is in major. Uh, this is almost reminding me of the movie Dirty Waters. If you have not seen it, let me pull it up. If y'all have not seen that movie, phenomenal movie. Movie. Yep, Dirty Waters. If you have not seen it, it's a movie that came out in 2019. That's interesting because that movie shook me to my core. About it got a good rating on 7.6 on IMDb, and Rotten Tomatoes got 89%. It's based on a true story. So if you have not seen it, it was played by Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo is the guy who played the Hulk and Tim Robbins was in there as well. So, but it's based off of the company DuPont building. They contaminated Ohio. That's why Ohio is one of the most they're known as one of the most corrupt states. That and sex trafficking. So yeah, it's very prevalent out there. But yeah, DuPont. You have cities like this. They build what is it called? They build these uh, corporate cities. They built these corporate cities. And so when I'm looking at this just looks no different from a lot of places like right outside of Long Beach and like Signal Hill area where you got the gas, you got the everywhere, y'all. All of these major manufacturing companies that are predicated where these audiences, these populations are. This is right along a volcanic line comparison. I mean, it's not the actual San Andreas fault line. This is not, but you have many of these smaller lines that are connected to those. So it's nothing for San Andreas to be the big one. They send a ripple effect down to these smaller, where the pockets of lava and magma are already at the surface. They may not be at the surface of, say, the San Andreas fault, but they may be at these other smaller locations where they're creeping. They may just have a deeper straw that connects to these magma pockets that are all around the whole world. So the fact that you're seeing a lot of this stuff being utilized or mistreated in its capacity, that's because of greed. Because of greed, and people need their gas, they need their lights, they need they Call of Duty and they TikToks and all of that stuff. So that's the issue. We put all of this stuff on a pedestal, and it's coming back to bite so many of these folks.
There are more than 9, just don't ask why. Each of these plugs within the 9 sisters formed between 26 and 20 million years ago, associated with viscous magma intrusions that fed a likely monogenetic chain of volcanic vents along an ancient fault line. However, this raises another question.
So the fact that they sit here disrupting an ancient fault line that's been there for thousands of years, it's like you're disrupting something. It's like y'all gonna wake up ancient ass whoopings. That's what you're doing. You waking up ancient ass whoopings. And this is nothing but FAFO. Fuck around and find out. And that's what you about to fucking find out.
Why would a cluster of volcanoes just suddenly form here in relative isolation around 25 million years ago? While we still aren't 100% sure, here is one possibility that I deem to be plausible. 30 million years ago, the large Farallon tectonic plate offshore of California was subducting underneath the North American plate. However, at the same time as this plate moved eastwards, a section of a spreading mid-ocean ridge began to be subducted. Since this mid-ocean ridge contained crust which was very thin, it allowed for molten rock in the mantle to rise through it and then intrude into the overlying tectonic plate. While some of this magma erupted onto the surface, other portions did not and remained at shallow depths, cooling to form a series of dacite to rhyolite monoliths.
It's none but these ain't nothing but butt plugs. These ain't nothing but butt plugs, and they just trying to pull the cork off of the wine bottle, and the Holy Spirit is ready to celebrate on that ass. That's what it's looking like. Because you got to understand, there's been so much shaking in every region around the whole world. It's been shaking. It's been earthquakes shaking in regions that they didn't even think it was a fault line, like New York or New Jersey or anything like that. All of these places that they thought that it would never happen, all of a sudden, oops, I did it again. I rumbled your ground. Now how does that sound? Oh baby, baby. No, so now you got all of these places that have very thin top layers. We're driving on freeways and roads that may not have nothing for hundreds of feet below us. And it ain't nothing for it to sit there and buckle. You got heavy rain, you got heavy hail, you got heavy snow. Everything is much more heavier right now. Way much more heavier right now for this to be happening.
These volcanic plugs, which were once oriented south to north, were later rotated due to the motion of the San Andreas Fault and nearby terrains counterclockwise by 45 degrees to form their modern appearance.
Wow.
Are there any other local geologic formations that you want me to discuss?
None of these people, they all just, it looked like a turtle shell for one, but just the amount of comfort that all of these places around the whole world have been just sitting like Santorini, Greece. Everybody just been chilling and enjoying themselves. All of these people is peaceful. Ain't no homeless people out here, ain't no bums out here. This place is peaceful. Your neighbor, everybody gets along, everybody knows each other, everybody's high-fiving down the street. You still got a milkman, you got the neighbors, don't get chased by no dogs. Like, yeah. These places is cool, quiet, ain't no noise. I've been out here chilling. But lo and behold, the storm is brewing. And this is going to be a very eventful March.
Be sure to let me know in the comments section below. As a final...
Yeah, we on. I'm on point. I ain't playing around. This is what's going to be on point today. We ain't letting none of this go. St. Mama's waterbed.
Join me as I challenge myself to stay calm and document the aftermath of a powerful earthquake that just rocked California and damaged skyscrapers. California was left reeling after a devastating earthquake struck the West Coast, bringing destruction and chaos to the state's bustling cities.
Now, one thing about these bookshelves and stuff like that, y'all. So, if you've never lived in California, obviously we know that we're on the San Andreas Fault. We know all of this stuff is like, this is a part of the contract that people live out here on the West Coast. Is that, yeah, you got sunshine, you got nice beaches, and yeah, but you got an earthquake. But yeah, we got Hollywood and we got Disneyland, but yeah, you got an earthquake. Oh man. But these bookshelves, they have to be like, you have things that have to be like pinned to the wall because of those reasons. You have to keep things that are like like to the wall in order for it to, prevent itself from to fall and collapse on definitely. Like for real. Like it's real life out here. If you ain't never lived out here, it's real life out here with these hurricanes. These earthquakes. Everybody they weren't prepared for the Pacific Palisade fires or the Pasadena fires. Obviously we had the Santa Ana winds, and the Santa Ana winds are the holy gangsters of California. They are the most random. You cannot predict the Santa Ana winds. They will kick your ass. It don't matter where you at, from Corona all the way up to the high desert. I've had to evacuate living out in the high desert because it burned down in 2003, 2004. Yeah, that fire came up. It was burning fast too. Like that was Armageddon for us at that time. Anyways, but the Santa Ana winds is the most gangster thing out of everything. But these earthquakes now, the fact that we show you the amount of earthquakes. Okay, hold on. How many earthquakes are? Let me see. I can't tell how many earthquakes have had California this year. I don't think it's going to give me an accurate number right off top. I think it's going to be, okay, for the past hold on. As of March 26th, California has experienced, see, that's not the number I was looking for. Okay, let's go. 703 earthquakes in the past 30 days. Let's just go there. Because it's giving me 8,573 earthquakes in the last 365 days. With the largest being this year, the largest this year being a 7.0 magnitude earthquake in Ferndale. So the largest was in Ferndale. Yeah, that's the largest this year. The largest this month is still in Ferndale. Where the hell is Ferndale? Okay. I know it's up north. Where is Ferndale? Okay. No, not Ferndale. Come on now. Look on the map. Let's see. No, Ferndale. No, not Ferndale, Michigan. It's a Ferndale right outside of Michigan and Detroit. So, okay, that's Ferndale. Okay, that's right. Oh, that's not, well, it's not, that's far away from, it's not far away from, that's pretty far from the Mendocino Trench, but it's right up there closer to Eureka, closer to the, closest to, oh, it's right close to Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta, not too far from here. Okay. Well, it is far, but dude, this whole upper region, I have not been up here in a while. Yeah, Northern California. Yes, it's another sight to see if you've never been there as well. Very gorgeous. But yeah, Ferndale has experienced the largest two. Largest this week was a 3.8 in North Hollywood, obviously. Largest today was in 2.7 in Ocean View. Wow. The past 24 hours been 10 earthquakes. The past 7 days have been 171 earthquakes. So, yeah. Let's keep it going.
The quake hit in the early morning hours, catching many residents off guard as they went about their daily routines. Emergency services were quickly overwhelmed as the full extent of the destruction became clear. Paramedics and firefighters were stretched to the limit as they rushed to respond to the countless calls for help pouring in from across the region.
Yes, all the buildings move. Knocking trees and nails loose.
The 7.1 magnitude quake has brought the state's infrastructure to its knees. Crippling emergency services and leaving thousands stranded. The response efforts have been nothing short of heroic, with emergency responders battling against the odds to rescue those trapped under the rubble. However, the task is daunting and the challenges are immense.
Audits on these places are going to be astronomical. Houses that were $1 million. Yeah,
the damage to infrastructure is catastrophic, with roads, bridges, and buildings reduced to rubble.
Now the homeowners got to really sell that house.
Meanwhile, officials scrambled to assess the damage and coordinate relief efforts. The state's infrastructure was severely impacted, with roads, bridges, and buildings all suffering significant damage.
Even the nails loose. All it takes is people on the summer.
Residents were left to pick up the pieces, shell-shocked and frightened by the sheer force of the quake.
Tortilla chips and then queso at the Mexican restaurant. This ain't the whole.
Many were forced to flee their homes, seeking shelter in temporary evacuation centers set up by authorities.
I mean, you
Others
just
were
think about
trapped,
damaged products
waiting
everywhere around the world.
anxiously for rescue
Businesses,
teams
all their
to reach
businesses are all
them.
in trouble. He ain't even he's from California. He's lived through these.
As the dust began to settle, the true extent of the devastation slowly came into focus.
It's light. 721.
Across California, buildings lay in ruins, their walls cracked and crumbling.
Yeah, he slept through that.
Glass shards littered the sidewalks, and debris-filled streets were cordoned off as emergency crews worked to clear the rubble.
Many of the buildings, the structuralized
The
buildings,
stench of
they have
smoke
those stray
and
beams.
ozone hung heavy in
Like I
the
said,
air,
many
a
of these
constant
buildings,
reminder of
you
the
know, they
disaster that had struck.
building them on the everything is happening like all the Chinatown.
As the earthquake's epicenter was located, experts began to analyze the seismic activity in the region.
New water main break. Look at that.
Trying to understand what triggered this powerful event.
On these pipes? And you got the workers being addicted to
They
that.
pointed to the San Andreas Fault, a notorious hotspot for
Chicks are becoming
earthquakes,
OnlyFans.
as the likely culprit.
Where's their workforce coming from? They sitting there kicking out all the illegals, getting rid of the Haitians.
Meanwhile, eyewitnesses
Flying
shared their
Indians back
harrowing
home.
tales of survival,
Shipping Asians
describing the terror they felt as the ground shook
You got
beneath their feet.
the Indians ain't doing that. They got their own thing going. What you got, the black folks?
Footage
Yo, we ain't finna
captured
work for
on
free.
camera phones and security
And y'all don't wanna
cameras
pay us, that's
told
the
their
problem.
own story, providing a visceral, heart-stopping window into the chaos of the quake.
All these buildings.
People ran for their lives, screaming and crying
Because they
as
don't have nowhere to
buildings
go.
came crashing down
All
around
of
them.
the stuff falling on them is very, it's more like
Holy fuck!
that is out of it.
Oh
That is out of
shit!
it. Damn.
Cars were tossed about like toys, and entire city blocks were reduced to rubble.
Separate like that. Easily.
One of the most dramatic moments came as an iconic skyscraper came crashing down,
Let's see
its
that.
steel beams buckling and twisting as it collapsed.
This is what happened in Turkey. All those buildings that buckled and collapsed. And pancaked
The
all on
sound
each other.
was deafening, a cacophony of crashing metal and shattering glass that seemed to go on forever.
Amazing how
Onlookers
people
watched
recording
in
this stuff. The
horror,
most next to the
powerless to
dangerous
stop the destruction
situation.
unfolding before their
I'm not
eyes.
trying to get electrocuted. I don't need that video coverage.
As the rescue efforts continue, the people of California are left to pick up the pieces. Thanks for watching.
I'm just saying that they just went through a Palisades fire. They just went through a major mudslides. There was just an earthquake. Oscar night. I'm just saying. This is. Oh, man. Yeah. It's really real. Yeah, besides that, let me make sure I got everything. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back later on. Because I got some stuff to do real quick. But I'm going to do American Crime. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. Because I just feel good today. But yeah, get up and stretch my legs for a minute, y'all. I gave y'all 2 back-to-back. I'm going to give you 1 more tonight. Because I'm feeling good. I'm feeling frisky. Matter of fact, we're just gonna bring it back to the fire that happened over in Myrtle Beach, because I needed to bring that up anyway. Just because on the indigenous part right now, but I don't know what else has happened so far since I've looked at the map. obviously the map it'll upgrade soon, but I just wanted to look at what happened over in South Carolina.
Firefighters in the Carolinas are battling a relentless wave of wildfires, with more than 175 blazes igniting overnight across North and South Carolina due to fierce winds and arid conditions.
Very chaotic scene here right now unfolding in Walker's Woods.
The wildfires, which have collectively scorched over 4,200 acres, are threatening homes and forcing evacuations, state officials reported Sunday. One of the most concerning fires is the rapidly spreading blaze in the Carolina forest near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. By Sunday morning, the inferno had devoured more than 1,200 acres, posing an imminent threat to the communities of Walker Woods and Avalon. Authorities confirmed that the fire remained completely uncontained. The escalating situation prompted South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster to declare a state of emergency, ensuring that firefighters and emergency responders have the necessary resources to combat the crisis. Our first responders are putting their lives on the line to protect our communities, McMaster stated.
Okay, I have seen this footage already, so I'm not even going to play it over again. I've shown that, but let me make sure. Wow. The amount. That's just on the weather. That's just on the macro. You know, we cover everything dealing with what's going on from space all the way to the skies, all the way to the ground, to under the ground, everything. So, yeah, we try not to leave nothing stone unturned. We try to keep you guys informed with everything we possibly can. And yes, the planetary alignments. Yeah, the eclipses and the equinoxes. Let me just take this off. Go ahead and take that off. Yeah. It has been a fiesta right now, y'all. I've been working on a lot of stuff, but other than that, let me make sure I ain't miss out on nothing. No, I think that's let's go. I think that's it for now. Yeah. Like I said, it's abominations out here. People telling you, be ye separate, saith the Lord, touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters. So keep that all the way in mind. But other than that, yeah, we're gonna lock her down after this because these people still don't know. They still don't want to accept. Yeah, people waking up to a lot of this right now. Waking up. And it's time. It's time. Great glory, man. It's just good times to be where we can't be celebrating like we didn't got past the finish line. Like this is the work, this is the hard grind, great work that we got to be doing right now. We in the trenches right now, y'all. This the beautiful part about this. You know what I'm saying? Like this the part I love. You know, just scraping off all the snake skin, getting out of the way from the snakes and all of the stuff, getting away from, you know, all the people that don't mean us no good. They mean us harm. You know, don't care, don't give a damn. You know, don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. Now it's knocking on their front door, ending up on a shit list, and now people waking up to, oh, you never would have put homeless millionaire in the same sentence, but now you're seeing that. You never would have saw people that would have had thriving businesses. Now they're being closed down forever and no more. Every single location around the world is going through something badly. Russia's in war, Ukraine's in war, Poland's going through it. Iceland is still in volcanic activity right now. Canada is fighting for becoming a 51st state. Trump is doing a bunch of stuff, but that's what has to happen. And this is the year of egg on the face. This is the beginning of it. This last year was like they could not believe what had happened. They didn't believe that, oh man, I lost all my money. Damn. Oh, I lost all my house burned down. Oh, my things are gone. Oh, my wife left me. Oh, my kids hate me. You know, like all of these, man, it has been a laundry list all around me. All my neighbors have been arguing, fighting. I've been hearing shit get thrown against the walls and stuff. Yeah. I've been seeing people arguing in their phones, in their cars, screaming to the top of their lungs in the parking lots. I witnessed everything. I'm nosy. I'm nosy on them. When it comes to the brothers and sisters, when I see a brother and a sister, I just straight head nod, like I know you've been through some shit at the end of the day. Like wherever you came from, I don't know. But hey, you could be on that side too. I don't know. You could be on that side too. So not all skin folk is kinfolk, and people will leave you high and dry and that do you all the way dirty, greasy. This is the year of exposure and reveal and revelations. That's why it's so prophetic that every time I get on here, I get emotional and I get excited and I get enthused and I get humbled and I get, put in my place, and I know that I'm a high priest and I just got to keep informing the people. I got to keep educating. I got to keep reading. I got to keep doing everything that I'm doing because I can't stop. I won't stop. No. But no diddy. But just even with this fast alone, this fast has allowed me to get through a lot of my own victorious, checkpoints, in the hope that it's providing for the same for all of my brothers and sisters out there as well. If you haven't gotten a chance, check out my video on the succubus prayer. I'm going to have the ancestor money prayer done as soon as possible. I'm also working on an incubus prayer for the ladies, for the women, for the sisters out there. Shout out to Sister Renana Ephraim. She provided the beautiful blessing. It's an honor, humble honor for her to be able to help our sisters in need. Because I could have did it for the ladies, but it wouldn't have had the same, residual impact that I wanted it to be. So, and she did a phenomenal job. So I'm working on an actual visual video for that as well right now. So that's why I need to check out, because I need to get back to work. But also, if y'all get it, well, it's not up yet, but I'll keep you guys informed on that. But wow. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm about to go back on the road working again. They called me back, like I said, after doing my ancestor money. They was like, hey, we want to bring you back on the road. We need you. We need you. We need you. We need you. We're willing to hire you on permanently. We're willing to give you a raise. We're willing to give you more money. After 90 days, we'll give you some more money. I'm like, well, since you're willing to do it, all right. Gives me an opportunity to get to travel again and stuff like that. And see what's really going on out there. So wherever I'm gonna be at, I'm gonna be reporting live. Prime Blaq, the black ass newscaster, the blackest of them all. Being able to bring it to you right to your face. But no, I'm so excited and humbled that these times that we're living in right now, this is the time where we're digging deeper, because the faith of a mustard seed is what we needed to have this whole time, at all times. and to keep each other in prayer, keep each other lifted and encouraged and supported. Like I'm doing right now, I'm tapping into all of my talent bags. I do so much, y'all. It's a lot of stuff that I probably have not even posted up or really truly spoken about. I think I've just always been blowing a horn about my music, obviously, because that means a lot to me. Just because it's like I got 13 albums of babies, so I got 13 albums of babies. I mean, I have no real physical babies, but I got 13 albums of babies that I put out, and you know, I had to let them grow up. I had to let them go. Sometimes you gotta let your babies grow and let them go on their own journey. But it's time to make some new babies. So who out there got some easy bake ovens? No, I'm just playing. But yeah, no, it's time for me to be able to flap my wings and be able to put out some brand new stuff. So I'm gonna be working on a whole new album. It's gonna be fire. This album is gonna be fire. I promise y'all. I ain't gonna leave y'all hanging. I'm already working on it. So it's dope. I've been working on some websites. Worked on good friend of mine's working. She's a masseuse. She handing out the masseuse, the massages. Working on brother Nathaniel's website. You get a chance. Well, wait a minute, because it's not all the way up yet. But mayamwater.com. So when I give y'all the green light, y'all be able to go there. Matter of fact, let me make sure. Let me see, because I don't know if it. Let me make sure. No, not yet, y'all. It's not yet, y'all. But soon. I just finished. Well, yeah, I got a lot of things to come. But also, I got many people that still go over to my allpraisetothemosthigh.com website. What I'll have on there is I'll have a lot of goodies, a lot of products and items for sale, whether they're crystals or incense, things for the nation. You know, I'll have I'm looking to get the YMZ stones, just everything that we need to have in our our artillery for us to have. Books. I got brothers and sisters that are interested in the tarot cards. The What else I have? Consultation services. People ask me they ask me questions, and they're private. We have Zoom call meetings as well, and I can help them with some information, whether it's business. People need help with their businesses. Like I said, I'm designing the websites for Brother Nathaniel, my own website. I did the allpraisetothemosthigh.com website. It's not fully, I'm gonna be working on that, and it's a work in progress. But I'm just waiting for my inventories to come in. But have that, but also all the brothers and sisters that have been looking to want to go on their own SM journeys, and don't have access to the supply, or would love to get some to even to be able to help out their family members. You got family members out there, friends out there that got Alzheimer's or dementia. These are helping the kids concentrate. They can be able to microdose. It will help those memories for a lot of our beloved elders that really do need that help, that need that guidance, that instead of them losing themselves, they'll be able to find themselves. That's what it's been for me. I've been on my journey for over 20 years, so I'm definitely in my PhD bag about everything. I've gone through every experience that you can think of when it comes to the journeys. And not only that, it's allowed me to be able to pull away from it, to be able to enhance myself naturally, and that's where we get to in a point, And so it's not like where you get like that calabunga, and I gotta be all drugged up type of thing with these, 83 got to do it. This is not what this is about. This is about having an intention, going in and coming out, and getting and bringing back, and to be on that, and to be there is one of the greatest honors and experiences that you can have. On this planet realm, it's we didn't did everything. But it's like you on that side, it's way more exciting to be on that side. Oh man, I ain't even gonna lie. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna come back and keep you guys. I'm gonna bring you some more funnies and giggles and chuckles for the American crime because I got a whole bag of those and I ain't even tapped into those. So we're gonna get back to it. But I'm gonna go and yeah, go stretch my legs, go take my little walk. And probably what time is it now? Let me see. It's so if I do come back on, probably 7, 8 o'clock. We'll see. We'll see how the table turn. But if I do, you'll see me pop up and I'll be here. And yeah, we're gonna keep it going. So even while I'm on the road, while I'm driving, I'll be able to still do the shows and be able to talk and report from there and show you and let you see the things that I'm doing on the road as well. So I hope everybody's good and everybody's in good spirits and, love one another. Life is truly short. And these experiences that we have with each other, we can't take for granted. Forgiveness is better it's better to forgive than hold on to those resentments. So for me, I love and forgive everybody. It's just like it ain't even that deep. It is not that serious. It is not, because like I said, it is Thanos snap, and life is truly that short. And so just cherish all of what we have and just keep a smile on your face. It's going to be all right. If you're going through something, you're going to be all right. The storms won't last. They won't last. You're going to be all right. So, yeah, shalom, beloved.